I want to go kind of rewind just a little bit with you.
Mhm.
Talk to me about the opening minutes of like moments of like walking into the anonymous household. What was kind of going through your mind, and what was that vibe like for you?
Well, walking in, I was pretty nervous actually, and I don't know if that really came off or if it just came off as me like being a jerk. I'm not too sure. But I was really nervous. I was like kind of quiet and everything, and I didn't really want to be, too much and whatnot. So yeah, I was really, really, really nervous walking in. Yeah.
All right, we kind of sit down. We're playing the game on two sides of the fence, which I thought was fascinating. It's like nothing we really ever seen before. But for me, what I
Yeah.
thought was the interesting idea of picking the shark as your digital handle. Take us behind looking through those and figuring out what that was going to be your handle.
Okay, so I figured it out because my wife, her nephew, so my nephew as well, he loves sharks. He loves sharks a lot. And it was close enough to me that it meant something, but far enough away that I knew like it really doesn't matter. So it really didn't have anything to do with like being like a hard ass or like something like that, or like, oh, I'm a shark, I'm gonna like get ya or something like that. But yeah, it was just something where it was close enough to home but far enough away that it still hit. If it was a whale, I love whales. I have a tattoo of a whale. I knew it would come out. So, and it was also like an aquatic, maybe also like Chris is like fishing. He's like in an ocean, or like he said he was. I don't know that I ever believed that, but I do now. So maybe it could be like him and everything too. Shark wasn't really like my personality and whatnot either, but mostly it was for my wife's nephew, Jackson.
I love that. All right, so when we're sitting in anonymous mode, it's quite I don't know, the shit stirring, you know what I mean? Like everybody just kind of stirs the pot. What I want to know is when the anonymous chat kind of closes, what's the atmosphere like in the house afterwards? Because it gets a little feisty in those chats.
Yeah, I think we all know it's gonna be pretty feisty and everything. And I was never like come for in the chat. So I kind of usually walked out like, okay, sounds good. No one, really said anything about me. The last one and whatnot, it got a little squirrely because I didn't know like how something was like taken or whatnot. And I haven't quite seen everything quite yet, but it just kind of depended on who was up and who wasn't. It was, their energy, trying to keep them, calm and whatnot. I don't want to see anyone like really, really upset. So I was like trying to be there for like Lily, and then, yeah, also, trying not to say anything where they're gonna know like, oh, I said this. It was definitely me, which is something like I really struggled with, as well. Not being me. It's really hard. Really hard. It's really, really hard not to be me. And I think that probably showed.
For sure. So talk to me about this. We're sitting in the chair and
Okay.
Danny's listing off all of the people that are going to be up, right? You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
sitting there and then there's one person left, and then it's like you hear them say your name and you become the last person on the block, kind of like, which is fascinating because I think it's one of the coolest things about the show is like, obviously it wasn't cool for you, but
Yeah.
even if you had the one vote, somebody kind of like seven, you still had the opportunity of going home. What is kind of going through your head in that moment when you hear your name be put up for elimination?
Yeah, I expected to be put up for the second elimination. I mean, I was like one of the only people in the whole house that, hadn't been mentioned, hadn't gone up, which mostly got along with like everybody, at least like on the outside and whatnot. I mean, we can tell when I don't like somebody. Um, but I wasn't shocked by that at all. So I was like mostly, okay with it. Oh, I forgot the second part of your question though.
But just that, just kind of like what's going through your head through that. No, that was basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like that. Oh, and one thing I loved about this game is um, I loved it a lot, but I love that at the end of the day you're voted out by one person. It's not the whole house that's like, oh, Casey sucks, like get her out, and you're hated and everything. At the end of the day, I might have looked like, pretty calloused and whatnot, but I'm not, like I want to be liked. Everyone wants to be liked. So getting put up by one person, by Marcel, I knew that was going to go down. That was definitely happening. That was no shock at all. And then, getting put out by Jack. It's 2 people out of however many people were still there, so I was okay with it. These other shows, it's the whole house, it's everybody, it's out loud, and so that helped me a lot with my anxiety going home. I don't think there would be much else I could have done differently to keep me there,
Yeah,
my
for
going
sure.
home.
I agree with you. Yeah, because there's no jockeying for position because you really don't know at the end of the day. There's what at your time, there's still 11 people left. 11 people could have been the quote unquote anonymous, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it really didn't even if you got, 7 or 1 or anything else, it's up to 1 person. So, if you it might as well just be like an even playing field. It doesn't really matter, and honestly, like, if you have the more votes most votes than everybody, you're probably shouldn't get rid of that person because they're going to be up for elimination again, so why would you keep that person? They're clearly a target. That's not going to be an issue, and you shouldn't keep somebody that, like, oh, we know that Robbie is Dice. Well, we would keep Robbie because then she's never going to be the anonymous. I know she's Dice, so we keep her around. So it's tough being the yeah, it's a curse. It's a blessing and it's a curse, I guess. So yeah,
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a curse because we're sitting here having this conversation, but it's
yeah, for
definitely
sure. Yeah,
definitely makes the game interesting in a way because I feel like sometimes each show like this, you're always jockeying for position, but you're right. And even listening to Jack say about your elimination, talk about that, he felt like you would be a good game player. Did you feel some sort of comfort, not necessarily comfort, you're being eliminated, but like the
yeah.
idea that you were looked upon as a game player? Did you like that reflection?
I love that for me. Of course I do. I mean, everyone wants to, get eliminated, and I didn't say it, but it's like, oh, they come back with like the rest. I don't think that way. I don't think like I'm in the middle. I watch all these shows and everything. It's like the second you say like you're in the middle, like you're going home, and like or you're in a good place, you're going home. That's it. So I was like careful to like try to like not say that. But yeah, if he thought of me as like I would, you know, be someone that might be an issue later on. Great. I love that for me. It's better than being hated and, being annoying or too, this and that. So, I mean, hey, I'll take it. And I considered him a friend. We didn't get a chance to connect too much, but like when we did, it was very genuine. So it was easier to be sent home by like a friend than someone that I, didn't get along with so much. So yeah.
All right, so maybe maybe you don't, but obviously without spoilers, who do you think is going to win the anonymous?
I I think Nina will take it home. She's a really smart player. She's really quiet. She's like I don't know. She's just like a really great person. And we all know like her past with her mother and everything. So I don't know how many people knew that going in. I know Jack obviously did now that I saw that. But yeah, I'm rooting for Nina. I love Nina. Andy. I would love Andy. And I hope everything gets better for Lily. I think Lily's gonna have a hard time, but I hope not. I hope not. But they came for her so hard, and I just hated it for her. It was so tough to watch. So mean. So yeah, but if we're narrowing it down, I'm going for Nina.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, I mean, hindsight 2020, but like I was like, you and Nina were the two that I was like, these two are gonna win this game, and then now we're having this chat. So, but I mean, I
Yeah,
thought for sure, you know what I mean? But again, I think it's a testament. You did seem like somebody that would be a game player, so it does make sense to eliminate game players. But I was rooting for you in the first
well, thank
episode and a
you.
half that we saw you. You know what I mean?
Thank
So,
you. Yeah,
but
I really appreciate it. Yeah, me and Nina had something that could have been something great, and I think at the end there, I probably really should have protected myself a little bit more than I did. We had a conversation, and Nina was like, "Well, what are you going to say?" And so I was like, "Oh, I won't say your name," which I still wouldn't have said her name, but I would have gone about it, like a different way rather than I'm gonna address something in the room. Like I'll say it and I'm not gonna be mean about it, but it's better for me to get like on the same page than to have to walk around like this weird energy. Like I don't be doing all that. So that probably didn't help, but I love Nina, and I'm pulling for her all the way. She's great. We really connected. I love her so much.